Alright, looks like she's working. You guys? So today we have Bizarro World Dr. Pepper and a whole bunch of Nurgle guys to paint. So last time I had started working on Nurgle's Rotters, who are models from Blood Bowl, one of the local stores. Got sort of like a super big heart on for Blood Bowl recently and got like a ton of the models in and stuff, which is really cool if you're in Blood Bowl. I don't really care about Blood Bowl because sports are dumb and I'm a big old fatty. So what I do care about is kick-ass sculpts for models, and that is something Blood Bowl does really, really well. So they even have some pestigores. So I grabbed these guys, slapped them on 25mm bases, and they are going to join the ranks of my poxwalkers. Now, technically, these are not the most cost-effective poxwalkers you can get. That is the $7 group for $15. These are 12 guys for I think 35. So technically, you're paying a little bit more for them, but you do get some much cooler and varied sculpts, and they kit bash super, super well. So what you get is you get one runner with 6 unique sculpts on it, and you get another second copy of that runner. So you end up with 12 total guys, 2 of each sculpt. So for example, this is my customized one, and this is the standard one. So I wanted to give them a little bit different flair and stuff, and just mix them up a little bit. So I've gone ahead and I have plotted out all of the sort of blocked in kind of big colors on them. So, I've got all like the armor in, all the cloth in, all the leather in, really not perfectly in, but rough enough. Because what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go and I'm going to do all the skin, and that's probably going to overlap onto the cloth a little, so I'm going to have to go back and clean it up. So I didn't bother doing super, super neat lines and stuff like that. So, when I do Nurgle skin, I usually do it based on 3 different contrast paints. So I have Warp Lightning, Plaguebearer Flesh, and Blood Angels Red. So this gives me sort of like a yellow guy, a green guy, and a red guy. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix these with some other paints. Well, really only one other paint. Make it sound much cooler than it is. I'm going to mix them with another paint, and then they're going to have sort of a different consistency, and then I'm going to swap that on, and we'll see how she goes. Alright, so let's do the red first. So the paint we're going to be mixing this with is one of the... Ooh, hold on. No, she's good. I really got to get a new one of these. The paint we're going to be mixing this with is actually a texture paint called Typhus Corrosion. So it's usually used to like gunk up stuff. A lot of people use it as a base for doing rust and sort of like just corroded metal. That's what she looks like right there. It's sort of like a nasty, goopy, green, brown kind of color. Not very nice. I mean, it's a great color, just, it's gross looking, you know what I mean? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and I don't want to do the big one first. Let's do, we'll do this guy first. So, it's a dude, he's got some hands, he's got his little helmet. I tried to give him a little bit sillier of a stance. Alright, so I'm going to grab some of the red. Here we go. I'm just going to swap it in here. I'm using bottle caps for this, because I don't really have a good palette for this kind of mixing, and this will stain the living hell out of glass. So, alright, so that's tons and tons and So it's going to have little flecks of like grossness in it, little bits of texture and stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that around. This will make a really sort of nasty looking red color. Let's actually get a little more. That red is really dark. So we're going to get more colors in there. We're going to mix in a little yellow. This is Yandin yellow, just to brighten up that red a little bit. Mixing contrast paints gets weird sometimes, but you'll see it more when that actually goes onto the model. Okay, so that lifted it up a little bit. Pretty happy with that. Do want some more type corrosion though. There we go. Which is pretty saturated, so we'll clean it off. Check this up so we don't spill it everywhere. And then we'll get to work. So again, this is going to overlap on a bunch of the details and stuff like that. So we're going to go back and clean those up afterward again. But it'll give us a nice sort of gross looking flesh color. You can see how it's doing the contrast highlight thing, but because it's got some other growiness in it, it's sort of like pulling a little bit extra. You sort of have these little bit of like chunks, sort of darker spots. Box go drive me bonkers. There we go. Box vibrating against the wall. Alright. So again, I can't be super mega neat with this. Just because it really doesn't paint on super good then. So I do want it to be a little bit extra pooly. I want it to be uneven. You know, I don't want this just to be like super neat or anything like that. Because you know these guys they're rotting corpses, right? They're not going to be supermodels. You know, their colors aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be perfectly distributed. They're going to be rotting and gooping all over the place. They've got weird mutations and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, go. Under the chin there, we'll get to the bottom of the helmet. There we go. Alright. So yeah, there we go. Hit a couple more areas, just get some more goop on there. Some extra nasty. There we go. There he is, all nastied up. Now after we clean up his clothes and stuff like that, we'll go back and we will do washes on all of those. So they will get darkened and dirtied up some more to help match sort of the grossness of the skin. So when I do these kind of Nurgle things, I don't really like to do them in just one color. I really like to, I more monstrous-y. I want them to look more nightmare-y. I don't want them just to look like, you know, generic zombie. You know, I want to play up these guys are mutated, these guys are, they're sick, they're not well, you know, they're got weird growths and all kinds of weird shit, you know. I don't want this just to be like Dawn of the Dead. I want more like I don't know, like Dead Space kind of thing, I guess. So, yeah, there they go. Alright. So, again, these get various little touch-ups once they're ready. I'll also do their teeth and their eyes during the cleanup phase as well. Really like to give them like these really stark white eyes. I think it looks super rad. There's another meat zombie. So another reason I really like to do the multiple tones is because when you have a bunch of these on the table, like, you know, say these are Poxwalkers for your Death Guard, which is what they're going to be for me. You know, you're going to have, I think the minimum unit is 10. You know, but you might have like 50 of these dudes on the table, right? And if they're all like the same green color, the same yellow color, the same white guy skin color, you know, and you're like, oh, look, I added some dirt here there. Not super into that. I really like having this like crazy multicolored like monster horde. You know, a lot more than looking like, you know, like a more like a normal zombie kind of thing. I really want them to be sort of gross and weird. So when I did my Red and Clean one, what I did was I took all the colors that I had used for doing the hordes, and I painted him in patches based on those colors. So he has sort of a mishmash of colors to him, as opposed to each one of the individual zombies, you know, one of the smaller guys who only has one color. So, there we go. That's the 3 red guys. So, yeah, kind of goopy, gross, nasty, fun stuff. So, I'll set them off to the side over here. And we will do some other guys. Right, so this cap can go over to the side. So we'll reuse that if I have to touch any of this up, in case I just hit something by accident or something. Okay, so next we're going to do the bulk of them, who are, shake it up, shake it, drink some pepper. It's hard to do at the same time. That's why I don't like sports. We're going to do some contrast Plague Bearer flesh. This is an amazing contrast paint. Just phenomenal. And it does a just wonderful, wonderful job in this kind of painting. Yeah, I can't sing the praises of this enough. It's so good. It's probably my favorite contrast paint I've bought. So, when I picked these guys out, when I decided what colors, you know, of the 3 sets that I showed earlier, each guy was going to be, I put them into rows. So it's slightly off camera. There we go. Yeah, so I put them into rows. So when I just grab them, I can be like, oh, this guy's this color, this guy's this color, this guy's this color, like that. Just to make it a little bit easier. Sorry for moving camera there, but thought it might be neat to see. So we're going to get that all mixed up. That's looking really nice and gross. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get some Indian yellow in that as well. that. That looks like a fucking bog. I love it. Alright. Again, I'm going to start on the little guys. This is like be a really sort of nasty green, yellow, putrescence color. I love this one. You can also see some of the other colors a little better through it, like where I'm going to have purple and green and stuff. Yeah, this is really one of my favorites. I think it really captures the like gross monster corpse that I want. But again, I don't want all my guys to be this color, because then they would not look as cool. A big old horde. My brush has a loose hair. Let's fix that. There we go. Oh. I'm trying to be neat. I'm using a pretty big brush without really a strong point, because I kind of want to glop it on there. And also, I know I'm going to have to go back and clean up. So it's not the end of the world if it gets a little everywhere it shouldn't be. And there we go. That's the first gloopy green guy. I think done. Yeah, there it goes. Slide into the back and pull the next one up. So yeah, I super love the Nurgle stuff. I love all as a fat guy, I love all the fat guys. And I love all the twisted sort of stances and all the weird mutations, big old mauls and the bellies and all kinds of stuff. I just super dig it all. I will admit that when COVID first started, I was kind of not into my Nurgle stuff. I was like, man, this is just a downer. I'm not in the mood for this. But as getting the hang of lockdown a little bit more, been getting back on enjoying Papa Nurgle. But man, when COVID first started, I was like Marines, you're gonna have to wait, bro. I'm gonna work on something happy. Give me fucking space dwarfs. Diggy diggy hole, motherfucker, But now I'm back with good old Papa Nurgle. So there's number 2. So I blocked out, or I set aside 6 of these guys to be this grosser color, this sort of yellow color. One, because I like this color the most. I think it's the coolest looking one. And 2, I think it covers really, really well. And I want most of the horde to be this, with the other ones sort of being highlights. Because I think if I do colors underneath, big blocks of green or purple or whatever, I think it shows through much better on this than on the darker green or the red. So there we go. There we go. So you can see this step, because it's kind of a messy step, messy kind of gloopy step, which I think is pretty fitting for Nurgle. You see it goes pretty quick. So the step that will take the longest will probably be what's probably actually this step already, was probably blocking the colors, if I'm honest. So just going back and cleaning them up actually isn't taking that long. You think it would, but it really doesn't, since sort of the color's already decided, it's already there. Need to hit that. Go. Alright, moving on to the big one. There we go. Yeah, and all the conversions I did for these guys. I think this guy's my favorite. I think the Space Marine helmet works really well. And I really like this arm that I grabbed for him. It's from the Plague Lords, Plague Fathers, Plague something. The AOS Mortals. It's from their box. It's one of their possible bits you can put on them, because they are one of the best Warhammer models out there. As far as just like total possible bits you can have. They just come with so much. It's really cool. I painted them and put them on different sized bases because I want to use them as possessed for my Nurgles. Alright, so you can see how this guy's a little more yellow. We're going to glop some more stuff on there. Just get it a little bit dirtier. Get some more stuff in them cracks. There we go. Alright, yeah. I'm going to get this here. Awesome. Alright. Oh, that's him. So the one downside with contrast paint, you sort of got to be more careful with it than normal paint. I will be top coating these guys, or varnishing them, so just hitting them with some kind of clear coat. They will be getting that when they're all done. But after this step, I'm just going to have to be a little more careful handling them, because contrast paint just tends to chip off a little easier, scrape off a little easier. I'm not really sure why, but it just tends to do that. So just have to be a little more careful with them. I'm definitely not going to play with them until they're varnished. This guy's little butt. So yeah, like you can see, I didn't paint that rope cord there. Yeah, it's because I knew there'd be no way I would hit this without completely coating that. So I was like, I'll just paint that afterwards. So a couple spots like that, like some of the straps on like some of the knee armor and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no way in hell I can hit this without, or I can hit the areas around it without totally covering this. So. Go. And alright, let's do a round around. Guy's butt. Let's get some more in that butt. Here we go. Hit the toes again. Alright, cool. He's all done too. Set him aside. And we'll work on our first Pestigor. Yeah, I kind of bought these guys on a whim. And if I'm being totally honest, it's because of these models. It's because of the Pestigors. I love Beastmen. Like, so I actually didn't know there was any Pestigore models you could get at all until I saw them on the back of that Blood Bowl box. And I was like, yep, I'll mix those into my Poxwalkers. It'll be pretty rad.
Here's something I found on the web. According to Dream.com,
Alexa, stop. Alexa apparently wants to talk about Pestigores as well. Stop. Stop listening, you creepy fucking bitch. But yeah, Pestigores are cool as shit. Now, looks like Slanesh is getting at least one Slanesha Gore? Sexy Gore? I don't know. He'll be getting in the Dire Chasm box. There'll be a Slanesh Beastman. Beast person, I guess. And it looks fantastic. It looks such a cool fucking model. But it doesn't have rules, unfortunately, outside of Underworlds, which I don't play. So it's kind of a shame. I really wish they would give the Underworld models Warcry rules, because they would be perfect for it as like special name character kind of things. And I think it would also move a lot more of the Underrot, something. I think it's Underworld. I think it would move a lot more of the Underworld teams too if they had Warcry rules. Because like I have two of them. I have the Skaven one that a friend gave me, and then I have the big ogre guy with the big saber-tooth tiger. I'm trying to remember the name of that. It's something Man-Trappers. It's like Hrothgar's Man-Trappers or something like that. I have them purely to sub in for Warcry. Because unfortunately the saber-tooth tigers don't have Warcry rules, so counts as Chaos Hound. And the other guy is a thunder gun cannon guy. I count him as a cannon guy. He's the cannon guy leader model. That's what I count him as. Alright, so let's look at the red guys, see how they're doing. They're looking good and gross. I'm just gonna hit them with a little bit of this yellow to add some more gross in there. It's Nurgle, and you can never be too gross. Hit all this with the yellow. Hit that with the yellow. Look at that. Since I got extra yellow. And before, when I was saying be careful with them, I just toss them on the fucking table. Oh yeah. In the middle. So it's more than the red guys. Okay, he looks really good. A little bit of more yellow. Get those guts. Really slop it on there. Look at the last red guy. I got a little bit of yellow left here. We'll slop him. He is really dark and goopy. Yeah. We might actually have to make him a little less goopy. I like it though. Alright. So yeah, super big fan of the yellow. Alright. So, last up, we're going to have the more green based guys. They're going to be based off of Warplaning. So, again, this is sort of like a more greeny kind color. And we're going to mix in the same stuff we mixed in. We're going to mix in some typhus corrosion and probably some Yandan yellow. Again, I do it in a ball cap. So I've got 3 guys of this to do as well. And a couple of blobs of it. One of them's a pretty big guy, one of them's a pestigore, so let's do the Yandan yellow next. I was using this to judge shade, but I have a feeling it's going to be needed again. There we go. This has a tendency to get a little too dark, like the red does. So, still want that green. Really, what I should have done was start with Plague Bear fresh, and then mix in green. But you live and you learn, and you don't remember to do that again next time. Although you tell yourself you will. And our typhus corrosion. There we go. More of that. Okay. We'll mix it all up. Should give a pretty nauseous looking color. That's pretty gross. Let's get a little more yellow in there actually. This one's probably gonna have way too much paint in it, but there we go. A little more like some kind of like toxic spill now. Right, and I'm going to start with this guy here, who's got a little nurgling head. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to lock it in again. Oh, shit. I did not clean my brush off this time, so there's a ton of paint on there. Let me do that. Making it harder to work with. I'm seeing the belly is so heavily hit. So this guy has a nurgling head from the Blight Kings again. This is one of the options I can have. Which is pretty rad, but I didn't use it for my Blight Kings, so it went in the Nurgle bits. And I will say there's a really nice thing about Nurgle. All their bits are surprisingly compatible. I think it's because all of their models are pretty recent, really. As far as I know, there's none that are like really old. Maybe the Plague Bears are like the oldest. I don't know. As far as I know, none of them are like super old. So I think that's one of the reasons why they get bashed together so easily. You know, usually it's just you might have to grind a piece down a little bit and slap some glue, and you can get it to work. There we go. That's our nurgling faced guy with his skin on. Next up, we got Big Chopper Pinhead guy. Again, he's got bits from Plague Marines, he's got bits from Blight, Plague Kings. I was going to say Blight Lords, but that's a type of Terminator. I think this head is from Plague Marine Heroes. I think these weapons are from the AOS Nurgle Mortal guys. Plague, whatever the fuck they're called, Plague Kings, something like that. Blight Lords, I don't know. I don't know why I got like super focused there. I was like, must focus on painting this dude. I don't know why, man. It just like, oof, hit me. I was like, time to focus up. So yeah, there we go. Get the back of this arm here. Yeah, I just need to hit that with cloth color, not skin color. Yeah, that's him. That's him all done. Hit that again. Oh, get down inside the helmet. Since you can see down into his neck, like the other guy. I just had to repaint all that stuff silver. God damn it. Alright, it's fine. Yeah, all that good. Moving on to the final guy, our little Pestigore friend here. We made way too much paint this time. Yeah, it's okay. That happens. So the Pestigores I didn't actually customize. These are the two variant builds from the box. You can get sort of this like sad, like deflated blobfish face, which is awesome. Or you can get like the spooky bone face. Yeah, which again, super awesome. And you actually get, you get extras since they come duplicate on each runner. Each runner has extra heads. So you actually wind up with 2 extra Pestigore heads. So I'm looking forward to finding something to do with those. Maybe putting them on like a Blightlord Terminator or something, or if I ever do another Nurgle night, maybe like green stuffing together like both of them and giving it this like weird bloated 2-headed goat head. That'd be super fucking rad. I don't know. I think there's cool options. I think, and it's a fun bit to get. Besides that, as far as bits go, you get some extra hands, a couple more like the football-y kind of heads. And that's really about it. They don't really come with weapons or anything. These guys don't. So you don't get anything in that kind of regard. You just get some kind of Nurgle guy bits, which isn't bad. It's just not stupendous. Oh, you get a bunch of football stuff. There's like a coin or something, and then you get like a bunch of footballs on their bases and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, there he is. So that's the like grosser green guys. So if we were to let's grab the big guys because they're cool. So let's grab this guy. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming at you for my Poxwalkers. So they're pretty sweet. Yeah, super sweet. So now they need to dry, and then I can do the details. So we'll set them to the side, and we'll let them dry tonight, and I will paint the details tomorrow when I stream. And we will finish them up tomorrow. And I will have 12 more Poxwalkers for my carrion hounds to lead out to the battlefield. So, if you watched this back, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was fun